Thank you so much for joining us for Jill's World Kindness Day Summit. As you all know, today, Saturday, November 13th, is World Kindness Day. We've got a fantastic event lined up for you today. And for those of you who are part of our Year of Kindness and our monthly kindness circles, Jan Jorgensen is going to lead us off with one of her beautiful invocations and prayers. Jan Jorgensen is a visionary messenger with a focus on helping women step forward to lead through her weekly Be the Light meditations, voice release process, and Be the Light coaching program. A vibrational specialist, she reminds us that it is our mission and joy to weave heaven to earth, and by attuning our voices to spirit through the divine feminine. Everyone, please welcome Jan of Sound and Light Healing Arts.
Thank you, Mary Beth, and thank you, Jill. Let's begin this auspicious day of kindness with a nice deep breath together through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's drop into a sacred space together of sharing in community with the blessing of the vibration of kindness coming in, waking up our hearts so that we may activate more divinity and goodness on earth. We are the hub of the spiritual team of kindness, a ground crew, and we are led by a prophet of kindness, Prophet, prophetess of kindness. And Jill, thank you for holding the leadership baton. How important is kindness for our human hearts and our planet now? Kay, we are needing the breath of kindness on our planet to grow, to rise. We are inspiring others, the I in kindness. And it is so needed. D, it is our doing, our acts and our words of kindness. N is for now. Never has kindness been so needed. E, evolutionary act. You are an evolutionary being by bringing the healing salve of kindness. S, it will sweeten your life and sweeten the lives of your other fellow humans. S, success is guaranteed for us moving forward as evolutionary beings to bring more divinity to all beings through your devotion to kindness. We bless this container today. We open our hearts, we share our truth, and so it is. And back to Jill.
Thank you so much, Jan. That was absolutely beautiful.
Welcome.
For our guests today, I'm going to introduce Jill because the rest of you are very familiar with all that Jill brings to us. Jill Lublin is an international speaker on the topics of radical influence, publicity, networking, kindness, and referrals. She is the author of 4 best-selling books, including Get Noticed, Get Referrals, Guerrilla Publicity, and Networking Magic. Her latest book, The Prophet of Kindness, went #1 in 4 categories. Jill is a master strategist on how to position your business for more profitability and more visibility in the marketplace. She is the CEO of
Mary Beth, you're muted.
Really?
You left with the CEO.
How'd that happen? Jill Lublin is the CEO of a strategic consulting firm, and she has over 25 years experience working with over 100,000 people, plus the national and international media. Jill teaches a virtual publicity crash course, and she consults and speaks all over the world. She has spoken on many stages with luminaries such as Tony Robbins. She also helps authors to create book deals with major publishers and agents, as well as to obtain foreign rights deals. So everybody, without further ado, please welcome Jill.
Thank you, Mary Beth, and thank you everybody for being here today, because I think we can all agree on one thing, and that is you don't have to agree on anything to agree about kindness and to be kind to one another. So in celebration of World Kindness Day, we have gathered together today to remember kindness, to be more kind to each other. I have a fabulous lineup of wonderful speakers, including our beautiful Jan. And by the way, Mary Beth will post in the chat how you can keep in touch with all of our people. And I always want you to be in touch with those who are spreading kindness in the world. And I'm sure you'll agree that every single speaker today is doing just that. And I'm super excited to have them. Just so you know, everyone will be doing max about 15 minutes, and then we'll have multiple breakouts throughout the day. This morning, it's only 3 hours of celebration of kindness, and what we're going to do is focus on breakout sessions where you get to interact, where you get to network, where you get to receive and give kindness, because that's what I always want, and I'm intentional about it happening always in my space, because in my space, connections occur and miracles happen. So welcome to this space of kindness. I want to read this quote from Jane Goodall that I love, that what you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. So thank you for saying yes to kindness. Now, from the Prophet of Kindness, Jen, it was so cute, the P-R-O-F is the P-R-O-P-H-E-T, but the book's actually spelled P-R-O-F-I-T. And I want to tell you just a few things about what we discovered for how to create kindness in the world. And that literally there are 7 pathways to kindness. How do I know there are 7? Well, I made it up. I made it up, but let me just tell you that what I did was really looked at people I was interviewing, companies I was interviewing, and seeing what made the most sense for what was the pathways to kindness. And I want you just to look at these for a moment, and later, and we'll bring them back up again later, I'm going to actually want you to actually connect with each other about these and talk about it just for a bit. And I want you to see where in your life, just as we're looking at this right now, can you be more of generosity, compassion, gratitude, positivity, flexibility, patience, and connection, right? What can you be more of, and where are you really good? Where are you really good? It's just wonderful to acknowledge also what we are good at, isn't it? It's important also. So I think that's one of the big keys in this world is, acknowledging what we're good at, what we love, and then practicing what else we need to practice, yes? And I think that's a real key. Now, with that, Mary Beth, actually, I want to tell this great story, the story of the grandson. When I was writing The Prophet of Kindness, I actually got a hold of this young man. He had gone to Panera Bread Company, right? And he had, his grandmother was dying and she wanted clam chowder. So he called this woman at the Panera Bread Company in a small town, and she said, "I'm sorry, sir, on Tuesdays, this is Tuesday, we don't make clam chowder. That's Friday." He said, "My grandmother is dying. This will probably be her last meal, and this is what she asked for." And the woman, to her credit, said, "All right, you're right, I'm making it." And not only that, she gave him a tin of cookies. Now, my friends, being a publicity expert, I'm always going to say and look at, well, where does kindness help companies grow? And yes, that's important too. And so is profit. And so is people seeing you as the kind of company and the kind company, whether you're one person, an entrepreneur like many of you are, or part of a bigger conversation. Well, look at the kind of powerful publicity that Panera Bread Company got. Not only have they been featured in my book, which is now translated in multiple languages, more about that in a minute, but look at this, 790,000 looks at this, comments, shares, likes. I mean, that's powerful, right? And so when we're looking at that, I just want to say, I think that the profound power of kindness is that it multiplies and ripples. And that as each one of us light this world with kindness, so therein lies more candles, more ripples, and that you just keep passing it along, right? And I love the fact that there's now a holiday called World Kindness Day. Now, Mary Beth, is Halise on? And I'm just not, can't see all the peeps, but I just want to see if she is. And I don't think so yet. No? Okay.
She hasn't joined us yet.
Okay, so we'll wait just a moment. And Charmaine, are you ready to go?
For sure. Hello.
Oh, fabulous. All right, let's spotlight Charmaine, Mary Beth, because I want people to know Charmaine Hammond, who is just an amazing inspiration to me. And I'll give you the formal bio, but let me just tell you that I've known Charmaine for many years. I know her commitment to kindness. I saw her bus tour go around to help make the world a kinder place. And she's going to actually talk about that a little bit, but I want to introduce you to her fully, because Charmaine Hammond helps business owners and leaders enhance their abilities to lead through change and difficult times, transform people, and build resilient and productive workplaces. In her first career, she was a correctional officer, which I think this is super cool. And surviving a near-death sailboat accident, Charmaine learned a lot about personal leadership and resilience, right? And Charmaine's a proud pet parent to Toby, who's on a mission to make the world a kinder place through Charmaine's philanthropy project called A Million Acts of Kindness. As a speaker and consultant, she's been featured on amazing stages like Jack Canfield and Janet Atwood and Lisa Nichols. And I love this story. I have to actually read it because painfully shy as a child, her nursery school teacher told her mother actually, "Don't worry, Mrs. Hammond, when Charmaine has a message to share, she'll share it with the world." And now Charmaine shares her message globally, having spoken to more than 100,000 people around the world. Welcome, Charmaine.
Thank you. And I would add to that story, if you were to ask my mom the next part, she'd say, and once Charmaine hit grade 9, she never stopped talking. But then my husband says, but she gets paid to speak. Thank you so much, Jill, for having this event today on World Kindness Day. You and I have known each other a long time, and we've had so many great conversations about kindness and the power of it and the way that it can just transform people, lives, communities, and the world. And I think now more than ever, Jill, the work that you're doing in kindness is so critical for the world as we live through and navigate through the pandemic and the impacts that it's had on our emotional health, our resilience, and our businesses. So a couple of things. I love that you brought up Toby, and I wanted to start there actually, because this dog Toby was essentially what inspired me to travel across North America in a sponsored motorhome for 6 weeks, doing acts of kindness and talking to people about kindness. So the backstory on Toby is that Toby was an animal-assisted therapy dog. We adopted him at the age of 5. He came to us with huge issues. He wrecked our house on numerous occasions, caused thousands of dollars in property damage. And the way that we curbed his anxiety was to actually get him a job. The animal behavioral therapist, who knew there was such a thing for dogs, but Maggie was her name. And she said, Charmaine, Toby is a dog who needs a job. He needs a purpose. And we got Toby tested. He had no training. We tested him because she said, I think he's perfect for this role. And without any training, we showed up for the testing and he failed his first test because he barked. And she said, don't give up, go to the next place. We went to the next organization, Chemo Animal Assisted Therapy, and he passed with flying colors. He was placed in a psychiatric hospital and volunteered with me every Wednesday for almost 5 years. This is where I witnessed sort of what Jill speaks around kindness, the power, the ripples of it. Toby showed up with his red little therapy vest on, barked 3 times as if he was saying, hello, I'm here. And he walked through the doors and I saw magic happen. He, as my friend Yvonne Heath would say, he showed up for people. He just showed up for people. And I saw the impact on people's lives, their mental health, around kindness. And I got really inspired by this. So then we planned this tour that Jill was talking about, the Million Acts of Kindness tour. I'd never done anything like this before, but I knew that the conversation of kindness was very important. So we planned a 6-week tour, 10,000 miles across North America in a sponsored motorhome and doing stops across the travels, interviewing people about kindness, doing acts of kindness, speaking about kindness. And it was absolutely life-changing. That was almost 6 years ago now. It feels like yesterday, Jill, but it was almost 6 years ago. And I have still seen the ripple. I want to share a story. Something you said, Jill, earlier just reminded me about a story about the power of kindness and what can be happening in the background. So in 2010, I was 2010, sorry, I was part of an incredible community event. And one of the things that we did is we had these kindness booths, and we had florists and chocolatiers and different stores that donated gifts. And during this conference, we were able to just do acts of kindness with flowers or chocolate. And we actually delegated that job to a group of teenagers. So they were running around this conference doing acts of kindness over 2 days. One of the things we had was a little kindness card. And it was just a beautiful little quote. And on the backside, it had the date of the event. So fast forward, and it challenged people to do a random act of kindness. Fast forward 5 years from that event, I'm heading into a speaking engagement. It's pouring rain. I got boxes of books in my hand. I dropped the box of books. The books are ruined. The water splash up, covers me with mud. I've got to show up in an hour to speak. No change of clothes. And this gentleman comes running across the parking lot and says, wait. And he said, can I help you? And I'm almost in tears. And I said, yes, you can. So he's like trying to pat me off with his jacket and like picking up these ruined books. And he said, I really hope the rest of your day goes better. Could I give you this? And what does he give me? The kindness card from the conference 5 years ago. I was just completely blown away. And that act of his kindness and showing up for me changed the rest of the day. It didn't matter that I was speaking with dirty, mucky clothes and I was dripping wet. So kindness can actually change lives in a moment. And it inspired me to then go out and do acts of kindness. And we've even seen, when we think of kindness, one of the things that I learned from doing our kindness tour, and I know, Jill, you and I have talked about this, around kindness without expectation. So sometimes people almost like keep track, and I'm air quoting here, they keep track of the kindness that they've done, expecting somebody to reciprocate. And if I can just quote a friend of mine, Dr. Sean Duperrin, she talks about this cycle of reciprocity, that when you are showing up for people and showing kindness, it will ripple back to you. And that's what is so important about kindness, and doing it without expectation. Kindness doesn't have to be planned out. It can be just being there for somebody. I can think of a time very recently, 3 weeks ago, I was having a bit of a crummy day. It was one of those days that whatever can go wrong before 8 in the morning is going wrong. And I thought, I've got to change my mindset, just like the meditation that we did this morning here as the event was open. I've got to change my mindset. And running down the street is this little boy, probably 9 years old. And he looks at me and he says, "Hey, lady, I like that pink lipstick you've got on." I didn't know him. I'd never met him. And I said, "Thank you." And it changed everything in the moment. I got home, everything went right. So it's such a powerful shift for me. And then about a week later, a couple weeks ago now, I see him again. He looks at me and he says, "Where's that pink lipstick today?" And then just kept going on, like that was it. But just showing up, even in a second, like how long did it take him to say that? A few seconds. It can actually transform people's lives. And I know that how we show up really matters for people. How we show up with kindness matters for people. We never know what someone's last 5 minutes were like. And this was a powerful learning that I had from the Million Acts of Kindness tour, was that we never know, as we go about our day to day, what somebody's last 5 minutes were like. They could have had the worst phone call. They could have got the most awful news. They could have discovered something that was upsetting. And when you show up with kindness, it changes everything for them. So it's sort of like it's a way that I was raised. I grew up in a family where my parents always volunteered. My dad was a volunteer firefighter. My mom volunteered for, I don't even know how many organizations. She started a recycling group with a number of other moms in our community. And I grew up with this value, I guess you could say, about kindness. And it's woven into everything I do. And I hope how I show up as a human. And even now, like working on this incredible, I'm an executive producer of a movie called Back Home Again. And this movie has been brought to life through the kindness of contributors and sponsors and organizations who were all wanting to support conversations around hope, community, and mental health. And so it's a great example again about how kindness comes into play. And that particular movie is based on a real life story about the Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada wildfires. And when we look at that, that was in 2016, so getting close to 6 years ago. This animated movie that we just released last month in October actually speaks to the kindness that happened around the world. So one of the other elements of kindness, I believe, is that it creates community, that it creates connection. And as a former mediator and as a former jail guard and now a speaker, I know that connection creates stories. And stories are often how kindness gets rippled through. Jill, the story that you shared on the screen about the grandmother and all the views, I mean, it's incredible to see that. And just as I pull this together, I want to share a story. It's one of my favorite stories to share about kindness, and it builds on what Jill was saying about how kindness just gets amplified. A number of years ago, a friend of mine, Lee Horbaczewski, who is in Canada, an amazing photographer, a writer, great human being. Her and her friend Sandra were talking about bucket lists. Sandra was dealing with some very serious health issues. And Sandra said to Lee, you know, I just got one thing left on my bucket list. So Lee, being the curious soul that she is, says, well, what is it? And she said, you know, Lee, I would love for Michael Bublé to sing me a song. Now, most people, if you get an ask like that, if you have a friend say that, where does our mind go? Back to the conversation mindset. We start thinking, I don't know them. How do I do this? How do I get Michael Bublé engaged? Well, Lee did what she does best. She is such a kind soul. And she went out to the world. She went out on Twitter and Facebook and wrote a blog and just said, hey, my friend Sandra has a bucket list item that's really important to her. Do you think we could help her? In minutes, people on Twitter that don't know Sandra, don't know Lee, are tweeting about this. They're Facebooking about this. People saying, I went to school with Michael Bublé. My parents know, the family. There was all these stories. People started finding out his manager. I actually knew his manager at the time. And I thought, oh, I can just make this happen. And I was about to dial his phone number, and my husband said, Charmaine, you know better than that. Let the magic happen. Let this happen naturally. So I hung up, and magic happened. That night, Michael Bublé was on stage preparing to sing in another country, and the crowd is sort of chanting, Michael, Michael. And with that, he comes back into the green room. He has a cell phone in his hand. He turns it on and he says, hey, Sandra, it's Michael Bublé. I've got a song for you. And he sang Sandra her song. That video made it onto all kinds of media stations. It is a beautiful video. I can put the link in the chat box later for you. The connection to that is all these people who didn't know Sandra or Lee, who didn't know me, came on board out of kindness and a desire to be part of something good. And it changed people's lives in that moment. So be kind. Kindness is in us to give lots, show up with kindness. And when you experience kindness, appreciate it, feel it, acknowledge it. Thank you so much, Jill.
Oh, Charmaine, you're amazing. Yes, let's give her all woohoo! Hearts.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, hearts and jazz hands. And thank you so much for your blessing today, for who you are in the world of kindness and the conversation, even before it was fashionable. You're super amazing and super kind. I know that personally about you. I appreciate you taking a lot of time. She's in the middle of a major movie, my friends, and she deserves all the success. And I'm so glad you have it. Thank you for joining us today, Charmaine. And we'll make sure we get a picture together. Yes. I know Steve's taken that now, so thank you. Smile, and all of you get ready on camera, because we're going to also take a photo of all of you. Thank you again, Charmaine.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So everybody, here's what I'd love to do. And Mary Beth, let's unspotlight Charmaine. And I want to tell everybody something, and that is the power of your kindness. Wasn't that beautiful and touching? That, listen, you got to understand, she just got in an RV with her dog and went around North America. I love that, Charmaine. Just practicing acts of kindness. How powerful is that? Now, what I would love is for all of you, let's come on to camera. If you're not on camera, if there's any way you can, because here's what I'd love to do. And Mary Beth, let's take us to gallery. I'd love for all of you, if you've got any hearts, bring them out, or make your own, but don't block your face, because we want to see your beautiful faces. We're going to go to breakout also really soon. And I want to take a photo of all of you. We'll do this a number of times throughout the event. Okay, are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Our wonderful photographer, Steve, is taking these photos. Thank you, everybody. Mwah. Blowing you kisses. Let's hold a moment so he gets all the screens. And we thank you, Steve. We thank all of you for showing your hearts in kindness. And you give me a thumbs up when we're complete. Beautiful. All right, beautiful. You got it? Hang on, bear with them. Okay, beautiful. So perfect, thank you so much. There's a beautiful quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson who says, "You cannot do kindness too soon, for you never know how soon it will be too late." Isn't that interesting? Yes? I think that's really an important lesson from all of this past year, don't you think? That you never know. And I'm so grateful again for all of you. And now we'd love for you to meet each other. This is what we do in our monthly kindness circles, and I'll tell you how to join that in just a bit. But what we do is we come together and we share and give kindness to each other. And so that's super fun. And what we're going to do now in the breakout, I mentioned the 7 pathways to kindness. Mary Beth's going to post them in the chat. And these are to remind you what the different pathways to kindness are. And what we're going to do is, with that, put you into breakouts. You'll have 15 minutes. And I would love for you to share, what are you great at? And what do you need to practice? And, by the way, this can change day to day. This can change month to month, right? But what are you great at and what do you need to practice? And then also included in that, would you be so kind to put and say your name, where you're from, and also what do you do? And then we are going to open the chats in the private room. So please feel free to chat each other so that, people know who you are and how to reach you, because there's never any accidents of how you end up in certain rooms. Don't you think? And with that, a reminder, the kindness principles, the return on kindness pathways, ROCKs as I call them, ROK, are generosity, compassion, gratitude, positivity, flexibility, patience, and connection. Each of you are going to have 2 minutes apiece. The person with the longest hair, would you do me a favor? You be the timer. And what that means, timer, you got to be a little, I know, intrusive. Yes, kindly intrusive. Wave your phone and go, time. It's okay, because you got to, sometimes manage people a little bit. And then we'll switch to the next person. The person with the shortest hair, you're going to go first. Okay, 2 minutes apiece. Everybody good? Give me a double thumbs up if you're ready to roll. Smiles on, celebrating World Kindness Day and each other. Have fun, everyone. See you back in 15 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. How was that? Give me a double thumbs up if you had a good time in your room. Woohoo! Oh yes, we love that. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, and what I'd love is some shares. Would you do me a favor? In the reactions, raise your hand if you can. If you absolutely can't do that, then raise your hand in the Hollywood Square. We'll call on 3 to 4 hands that are raised in the reactions is best, or wave your hand at us. And great, we see Loretta first. Thank you, Loretta. Love that. And we see Pat and CJ. And Mary Beth, Pat also raised her hand. So let's move her to that too. I want to read you a quote while we're looking at that for a moment, from Confucius. Confucius said, and I hear Confucius is very wise, forget injuries, never forget kindness, right? I love that. Forget injuries, never forget kindness. Beautiful thought. All right, beautiful. And Loretta, let's have you in the shares. What I'd love you all to do is just share, your feelings, your thoughts, what happened in the room for you. That would be great. Welcome, Loretta.
Oh, Jill, thank you so much for hosting this and an opportunity just to be with like-minded individuals. I love the fact that I had an opportunity to meet people that I hadn't spoken with before, which is really kind of neat, just because you find out what they do, where they are in the world, what they're good at. And there was, a whole range of things from generosity and gratitude and just being good at a lot of things, and also finding out what we're not could work on, or which is suboptimal, I should say. And so there was a lot of consistency and patience, and it was just good hearing from different individuals. We had one individual there from China, and she shared her experience about being in America and some of the things that she's getting adjusted to. So it was a great opportunity to be kind to one another, to smile and laugh with one another, just to be with one another. So It's excellent. Thank you for
Thank you, Loretta. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful. Welcome. And so glad you're all celebrating World Kindness Day with me. All right, CJ, come on in. And then Mary Beth, Pat is next, Pat Sullivan. Beautiful. Hi, CJ. Welcome.
How are you? This is great, Jill. Thank you so much. You know, our group was really nice, and everything that everyone said really touched me. I think that the stories about the difference in relationship that spouses were having with their spouses really touched me, the kindness that they were showing. It was really nice. What showed up a lot in our room was gratitude. And I just wanted to share that, you know, in my life, I spent most of my adult life until about 4 years ago being very angry and bitter about my childhood. And then I learned to forgive. And then I learned how to be grateful for all of it. And gratitude is so cool because when you're grateful, it attracts positivity to you. And that gives you more to be grateful for. And that attracts more positivity. And so it's an ever upward spiral of positivity and gratitude. I love it.
Thank you, CJ. And I'm so glad you're part of our kindness circles. Glad always to have you there. All right, my dear, thank you. Look forward to more. And I see Pat, and then we'll end with Guinea. All right, Pat, welcome.
Hi, I've been practicing gratitude heavily for probably 30 years and really started it when we had come from DC for grad school. None of my plans was working out. John didn't have a job and everything was his fault. And then one day in the midst of, I was actually working for a law firm with a street name of browbeat, flog them, and harass them. And I kept hearing this inner voice said, if the only prayer you can say is thank you, that's enough. And then we just really fought that voice. And then finally just started with, okay, I'm grateful for how clear my anger is. And then it kept going up into richer and deeper. John doesn't remember how that experience led to us both working in the field of spirit at work. And my first book, writing a column in the Chronicle about spirit and work, because he has dementia, and we're grateful for his dementia and for how our lives get richer every year and the work together we get to do. And life is better. Our marriage is happier every year. And I want that for so many people. And the challenge for me, and it's easy being generous and grateful. It's hard to connect, which is the pulling the dots, the really connecting, not pulling back at the last minute. So thanks for that so much.
Thank you, Pat, and thank you for the great caregiving I know you've been doing and bringing the conversation of dementia forward. You're amazing. Known you for many years and been blessed by our friendship. Thank you for what you do.
There's millions of us doing this around the world, and the word is getting out.
Yes. It's very good. Same with kindness. The word is getting out.
Yep.
Yoo-hoo! All right. Thank you so much, Pat. And Guinea, last but not least, share some of your.
Jill, kindness attracts kindness. That's all I'll say. The group doesn't matter. The names were different. It was Steve, the photographer, Rhonda, Rebecca, Carol, Raksha, but everybody had the common thing. Everybody was in gratitude. Everybody was kind to each other. And I am grateful in your presence and the presence of the kindness circle today.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And so glad all of you are here celebrating World Kindness Day. Woohoo! All right, let's give World Kindness Day a woohoo. Come on, come on. Around the world, we are celebrating it. I promise. I've been seeing all kinds of things online. Super excited about that. All right, and appreciate that. And Mary Beth, go ahead and unspotlight Guinea. Thank you. Beautiful. So just so you know, we're going to take a break in just a moment. We're then going to bring on an amazing 13-year-old. Just wait till you hear her. I'm like, oh boy, I better catch up, you know? Anyway, and we're going to have more breakouts all throughout the day, actually multiples. When I say day, we're only doing till 12 o'clock noon. Just a reminder, and I promise you that each moment will be worthwhile for you. And what I also want to do is invite you. We are doing a whole year of this, my friends, and every month we will meet together for an hour. One on a few, meaning wonderful people who are connected to kindness. And we have formed a kindness community already. We've been doing it the whole year. Raise your hand if you're in the kindness community, year of kindness. Woohoo! Yes, yes. Oh, yes, so beautiful. Well, we're going to continue it this next year. Once a month, on the third Wednesday, we will meet for 1 hour to remember kindness, to practice kindness, to be intentionally kind, to give and receive kindness. And you will also receive a wonderful database of everyone who's in there so you can help and give to each other consistently, right? So we're going to give leads and share referrals. I'm also going to bring on celebrity guests. This past year alone, we've had Bob Berg, author of The Go-Giver. We've had John Asseroff, who's amazing in the world of transformation. Marcy Shimoff, one of the Chicken Soup for the Soul authors and featured on all kinds of major TV and radio. And bottom line is, most important, we're creating community here, a community of kindness, making a statement in the world, leaving your footprint for kindness. And we're going to do it once a month, only for an hour. It's about being intentional for your kindness. So here's the thing, you know, I have to tell you, I launched it last year at only $97, and I decided to keep it the same as the launch of last year. It's only $97 because you're here today, because you're listening. It's jilllublin.com/year of kindness is how you register. Mary Beth posted it in the chat, and what we're going to do is give you next year's summit and a copy of my book, The Prophet of Kindness. So would love to have you in, would love to have you be part of the community. What I can tell you is the power of it multiplies in every moment the kindness that's in your heart, and the lights that keep spreading from your commitment to kindness is what imprints it in the world and in your business. And this is for business people, and it's for everybody, because what I'm committed to is kindness in your business so that it multiplies in the world. So I invite you in. All you have to do is click that link that's in the chat, and we invite you to be part of our monthly year of kindness all year long. If you can't make it, everything's recorded, no worries. So super excited to be part of it. And I think what would be wonderful now, first of all, and oh, I'm getting a private message from Catherine, who's actually in it. She's asking if we could take a picture of if she could, and we could link the picture taken of the group to share on social media. Yes, Catherine, thank you, and use our link, please. So anyone who wants to take pictures, please do. Post this, absolutely, and yes, invite your people. That's how we multiply kindness, by spreading it, connecting it, and inviting others to participate in it. Super excited that you've committed to kindness, even by being here. Thank you for that. Vincent van Gogh said, I feel that there is nothing more truly artistic than to love people. Isn't that interesting? I love how these people from all walks of life, all kinds of timelines, think about this, Confucius, Vincent van Gogh, Jane Goodall, right? Some of the quotes I've been reading you today, they're from all timelines, because kindness is timeless. Kindness is timeless. And with that, let's take a 5-minute break. And then we're going to come back and we're going to hear from an amazing 13-year-old. And then we're going to take you to more breakouts for more interaction and more fun. We'll see you in 5 at 10:05 Pacific. See you soon. I hope that you've been practicing kindness, and this is my fun quote for you in this moment. For attractive lips, speak words words of kindness. For attractive lips, speak words of kindness. Yes, I love that. I love that. Now, speaking of kindness, I know that I just invited you to the year of kindness. And who's joining? Who's joining us? Come on, raise your hands. I want you in. I want you part. Thank you. Thank you for that. So excited to have you. And we are a beautiful community and growing. And here's the thing. I want to give away a Year of Kindness membership. So we have a beautiful wheel of names. If you're already in the community, what I'm going to request you do is actually give it to somebody as a gift. Makes a great Hanukkah, Christmas, or anything you celebrate gift, just saying. And would love for you to give that away. And definitely, we want one lucky winner, and maybe there's more today, just saying. I know there'll be more, to come into our beautiful community and our Year of Kindness. All right, Mary Beth, are we ready to spin the wheel? To spin the wheel of kindness. And you're on mute, so we got to have the music. Hang on, bear with us, everyone. And Mary Beth, you're on mute.
Do, 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 do.
There we go. We're going to make the music.
Do, 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 do.
Anne-Marie, welcome, welcome. Is she here? And just know that you are the wonderful winner of the year.
Thank you. I'm here.
Woo!
Hey.
Super great. Woohoo! Let's give her applause. Come on, come on. Yes, yes. Congratulations. So excited to have you as part of our Year of Kindness.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, my friends. So here's the thing. I want to introduce you next to a most incredible young woman. And her name is Abigail Grace Garland. Since, Mary Beth, can we spotlight her and let me know? Oh, perfect, thank you. Ever since Abigail was 4 years old, her father, TR, would tuck her into bed at night and they would do affirmations. And then they actually created a children's program and now teach children all around the world how to do this. Then Abigail was 7 and her family started a charity together. In this past year alone, Abigail spoke from 12 stages in the last 12 months, and during one of her speeches, check this out, in one night raised $48,000, woohoo, for charity. At 10 years old, starting to feel like, I don't know about you, like I gotta catch up, right? At 10 years old, Abigail was recognized by the Women's Economic Forum in New Delhi for women creating a better world for all. And she was awarded for her humanitarian efforts. She shared the stages with people like Kevin Harrington and Marianne Williamson, Les Brown, and so many more. And she's been featured in major media, including NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox News. Abigail is often heard saying, even though I'm just a little girl, I'm making a big impact. Welcome, Abigail. Give her.
Thank you, Ms. Jill, for inviting me. It's a really great opportunity, and I thank you.
It is absolutely my pleasure, my dear, and super excited to have you. And on her left, just so you know, is her amazing father, TR Garland. Hi, TR.
Hi, everyone. I recognize so many amazing people. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Jill. Everybody else.
We're happy to have you. So, Abigail, how old are you now?
Right now, I am 13 years old.
All right. And I love the difference you're making in the world. And, so many accolades, of course. But let me just ask you, what was your favorite experience since we're talking about World Kindness today, particularly in spreading kindness? What's been your favorite experience or most memorable?
Many of you may not know me, but hello, I'm Abigail Grace Garland. This is my father, and my mother is actually an eye doctor. So we support mobile eye care clinics, which roll across all North America. Last year alone, we checked the eyes of over 30,000 school children in need. And one of my favorite experience definitely has to be going into impoverished neighborhoods and going with the doctors, seeing all the children and getting their eyes checked. There's one particular instance in which I saw a little girl and boy, and they were picking out eyeglasses. And it was really astonishing to see when they picked up the eyeglasses and they put it on their eyes, like they were genuinely really, really excited and shocked because they haven't seen the world so clear before. It definitely resonated with me. It was a shocking and overwhelming experience. And that was definitely one of my experience in which I felt very grateful to be giving this opportunity to young individuals.
Oh, that is so powerful. Well, and I know listen, I've seen you at different events. I've seen you speak. I've seen the power. Yeah, you're amazing of who you are and your commitment. And do you think you just were born this way, as Lady Gaga would say, or was it really a training through your family? What do you think?
I think that everyone with the right education and with the right community and what they're raised up in really determines their future and their personality and how they act. So I believe personally that anyone can be kind and anyone can be compassionate and anyone can give back to the world and give back to their own communities with the right knowledge and with the right people that surround them in their everyday lives.
Oh, that's profound. Yes, of course. So let me just ask you, what are your most recent projects?
One of our most recent projects is Changemaker. If you see right now, I'm currently wearing Changemaker t-shirt and my dad is as well. And we just started a Changemakers worldwide brand. And it's just a saying, anyone can be a change maker. You can have your own ripple of impact. Everyone's voice matters, no matter what the color of their skin is or what culture they come from. And it's especially prominent in what the world right now, how the world is right now. So we just launched our Changemaker worldwide brand, and I'm very happy. I do fulfill all the orders. I'm very proud of that.
And where do the proceeds go, sweetheart?
And the proceeds do go to my charity called Peace Through Participation Charitable Foundation, and it supports children in all aspects of their lives.
Oh, powerful. Well, you are just an amazing leader. And let me just ask you, because you're doing things you're actually doing them, right? You don't just talk about stuff, Abigail, you do it. And I've seen you do it in person. I see you, your commitment constantly, it never wavers to really supporting kindness and change and power. And by the way, TR, maybe you can post the checks. I'm already getting private messages. How do we get in touch with you? If you do me a favor, post that in the chat, that'd be great.
Sure. Mary Beth is aware of a friendly invitation that we're going to extend at the end for everybody. If what Abigail is saying resonates with you and you want to be surrounded by other change makers included in Jill's community here, then we've got a very special invitation for you. So I think that we've got that covered, Jill. I appreciate it.
Beautiful. And so what I want to ask you too is let me just ask you, was there any particular incident that you saw as a child, in your younger years or now or whenever? I mean, obviously you've been part of this pandemic and a bit isolated too, like many, but that really touched you to propel you to even more action.
I can recall an instance that I would like to share.
Okay, go ahead, share.
So, Peace Through Participation, my family's charity, and the Women's Journey Foundation. We help the Women's Journey Foundation, and we host the annual Girls Self-Esteem Conference, which last year alone hosted over 500 girls. And one of my favorite instances that I like to share today is there were particular girls that were at the conference, and you can't really just get into the conference if you have children of your own. We mostly offer free admission for single mom shelters, homeless shelters, kids that are really in need of this really loving community. And there are also these girls from Sunburst Academy, which is
in Seal Beach, California.
And Sunburst Academy is for girls who that's their last resort. They're on their way to juvie and they really need this help. And it really, one of the girls came up to my mom and me and said, we really love the work that you're doing. It really helped us and brought us into a better state of mind because we didn't know what our life was going, what track that we were on. And they also said that they also got help with the mobile eye care clinics. So it really I really was in awe of how one person could be impacted by me and impacted by my family in two different instances. And it really shows that what comes around goes around, and the world is a small place. And when you do show kindness and when you do show love, it really does go around and impact people's lives.
Does that make sense, Jill? So Abigail's charity supports the self-worth and self-esteem in children of all races, religions, and regions of the world. And we've got 3 primary pillars that we focus on. And there was one girl that was impacted by 2 of those pillars in 2 different instances. One of them was she actually took advantage of the mobile eye care clinic, got her eyes checked and got glasses. And then the other, when we ran into her, she was at the girls' self-esteem conference, and my wife, Abigail's mother, and her just started tearing up when they realized that she had already impacted her life prior to that day. And yes, Abigail, it is powerful how, one person or one family can make small changes in their local community that make a big, big, big impact.
I love that. And that does make sense. And, one thing I am is very intuitive, and I'm getting a message about that some people might want to ask you some questions.
Oh,
of course.
I know we didn't talk about this, but I would love it. And give me, just a thumbs up if some people might want to ask some questions of Abigail. And if you do me a favor. I want you to go to the reactions and put your hands up so we can see how many questions you might have. And I see some already, so super great. So I do want to do that. And as people are thinking of their questions, perhaps, I also want to acknowledge you, TR, as a parent. Because, one of the reasons that I've invited you here today is, gosh, I don't even remember how many years ago I visited you in Orange County, and you had this beautiful event where you were raising money for charity, and you featured Abigail. Do you remember that, Abigail, meeting me and saying hi?
I believe it was the philanthropy parties, right?
Yes. And, I've always seen your commitment to really, instilling this in your children. And I pray for us all on this World Kindness Day that all of us instill this not only in our own children, if you have them, if you don't have them, in your grandchildren, in people and strangers on the street, like Charmaine was saying, and indicating how beautiful that it's always a possibility to inspire others and to give kindness. Yes? Yes, yes?
Yes.
All right. So thank you, TR and Mama, for everything that you've been doing to inspire Abigail to be who she is. And thank you, Abigail, for everything you're doing out in the world. And I know we're having some questions. So Mary Beth, we're going to invite Laura, CJ, Loretta, and then Johnny up. And we'll probably have enough for those questions. And let's bring Laura up with all of us. Laura, welcome.
Hi, thanks so much for being here. My question for you, Abigail Grace, is do you work with other countries than the United States, meaning all over the world?
If you may have heard, yes, we do. We do. I was had the honor of being recognized by the Women's Economic Forum in New Delhi, India, and we do work all around the world. Right now, Build a School Foundation. I am Vietnamese, and I decided to contribute back to my roots. And we do build schools in Vietnam for kids that don't have the opportunity to have education. And they're honestly so grateful. We do build schools in Vietnam, and my uncle has a charity that we do support called Build a School Foundation. So yes, we do.
If I may just add, Laura, just to help support Abigail's answer, which is, I grew up a businessman. I couldn't wait to get into business. I was very successful in my 20s, very successful in my 30s. However, I always had this, innate feeling that there could and should be more social impact with regards to companies. And my wife grew up in a family to where her entire family was affected by the Vietnam War. My wife was actually left behind in Vietnam by her parents that were rushing to the evacuation boats because my wife was only 13 months old at the time. So she was raised in a village in Vietnam, by relatives and displaced from her parents. And when my wife was reunited with her parents in the United States, in San Diego, when she was 10 years old, she had already started to feel the effects of poor eyesight. And she made a commitment, because she loved reading, that she was going to be an eye doctor and she was going to make an impact in this world. And, fast forward, out of respect for everybody's time, she became an eye doctor. She volunteered for Gift of Sight missions all around the world, El Salvador, Thailand, Mexico, you name it. And her father and her started a grassroots charity that supported education in Vietnam. And then years later, her uncle started a Build a School Foundation that is a force to be reckoned with. And what I mean by that is by 2025, they set a goal of building 100 schools in Southeast Asia, predominantly Vietnam, because that's where they are from. And we are proud at Peace Through Participation to have partnered with Build a School Foundation, and we're at 77 schools right now. And I myself, and I will pass the mic back on over to.
Beautiful.
Whoa.
Thank you, TR. Thank you for that. All right, let's bring up CJ. Come on up, CJ, and ask your question.
CJ, you're on mute.
It's actually a comment, and I want to say I am so touched by what you are doing, and to be so young and so wise is just a beautiful thing to witness. Just
Thank
beautiful.
you so much. Thank you so much, Miss CJ. I really am thankful for that response. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, CJ. Beautiful. And let's bring up Loretta to ask a question. Thank you.
So, Abigail Grace.
Yes.
Young lady, you are moving mountains in this world.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. And I just want to acknowledge you and your entire family for making a difference and doing what you can do and what's important in your heart. And so my question to you has to do with the Girls Self-Esteem Conference. I'd like to know how to become involved with it, getting access to that. I am a family entrepreneur expert, and so I believe in families starting their own business. And you've made a huge impact in the nonprofit world and philanthropy. And there's also room for individuals to also start their business and to have a profit, as your dad has a business background. So share with me more about your Girls Self-Esteem Conference. Do you have any conversations or topics in entrepreneurship in that conference, and how you can start your own business as being part of a family?
I believe the best thing to do right now is to honor Jill and the time that we've been allotted. So Loretta, at the conclusion of our little talk here, I'll be providing my personal email address in which you can communicate with Abigail and I would be happy to have a conversation with you about how you see some sort of co-creation or collaboration, and we can take the conversation offline. From the bottom of my heart and behalf of the girls that are impacted at the Girls Self-Esteem Conference, I'm thrilled that at piqued your interest, and this is what it's all about. Can we give a round of applause for Jill for pulling together amazing people that when they just talk and speak their truth, they reach out to each other and they connect. You know, think of the ripple of impact that just this one summit is going to make, Jill, right? Just by Loretta reaching out and hearing something that Abigail said, saying, hey, that matters to me as well. Let's team up and let's make a difference.
Okay,
Awesome.
bring Loretta back in because I got one thing to ask her. And okay, Loretta, I'm going to put you on the spot. Are you ready?
Ready, sweetie, I'm ready.
I would love it because I've been a guest on your podcast and it's marvelous. Would you be willing to have Abigail as your guest on your podcast?
I would love to. It would be an honor and a privilege to interview you on my podcast. It's called I Am Love Movement, and I celebrate parents and individuals who have triumphed over tragedy using love, acceptance, and forgiveness. And typically they're parents and entrepreneurs and individuals. You definitely fit that bill. And people need to hear and see individuals that look like them, that they start wherever they start.
Thank you,
Make
Loretta.
a difference.
And I knew you didn't know it was coming, but thank you for saying yes. Thank you for saying yes. Woo woo. All right, let's bring up Johnny, and she'll be the final question, so to speak. And Johnny, I just want to acknowledge Johnny Proby, who at the start of our year of kindness last year sent me this beautiful, just saying, kindness candle that's actually out. That's why I can't even light it anymore, because we've used it every single month to acknowledge kindness. And I just want to thank you for your kindness in sending this beautiful candle to me and reminding us every month about the lighting of the candle for kindness. And Johnny, what's your question for Abigail?
Beautiful. And thank you, Abigail. I admire the work that you're doing, letting your light shine. I am a part of a mentoring group, Girls 7 to 17, and I to tell them about your work that you're doing and your self-esteem conference and see how they can get involved. So I just want to know if that age group would fit into your conference.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Miss Johnny, for asking me this question. Yes, I do believe so. 7 and 17 fits just about right. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you soon and how you can make a ripple of impact in these girls' lives.
Fabulous. Okay, we'll connect with you and your dad. Thank you.
Thank you,
so much.
Beautiful. Thank you. So incredible. I'm sure all of you, your hearts have been touched. Yes? Have your hearts been touched? Boom, boom, boom. Yes, yes, heart's been touched, because that's who Abigail is. That's who her family is. And I am just so grateful that you both have stopped by, so to speak. I know you're, I think, in Sedona, I hope, having a great time on vacation. So thank you for taking a moment of kindness. And I know you said, you said there was something special. Please let us know, because I'm getting all kinds of private chats. How do we get a hold of you?
So first of all, Abigail, what did we think about when Jill and her team said, how can we serve and support the kindness community? What are we going to offer them as a gift?
We are going to offer you guys a free Changemaker t-shirt we're wearing here.
We see a lot of change makers: Peter, Amy, Leslie, Kathleen, Yvonne, Mary Beth, Karen, Renee, Thomas, Steve, Loretta, Miss Johnny, right? You know, Maritza. We see a lot of change makers. So if you would like to learn how you can get a free Changemaker t-shirt, the easiest thing for you to do is send me an email to my private email address, which is tr@trgarland.me. tr@trgarland.me. Mary Beth is going to pop that in the chat. And for the subject line, we thought it would be really, really amazing if you said, Jill is awesome. That's the only way. You have to type out and let the universe know that we are showing appreciation to Jill. The subject line must say, Jill is awesome. And then we will reply to you and share with you how we can hook you up with a free Changemaker t-shirt.
Wow, super great. Woo, woo, woo. I love that. I can't wait to get my own, just saying. And thank you. And could we just give Abigail more love, more thank you, more everything. And thank you, TR, for birthing her and loving her into the person, beautiful being that she is. Abigail, you're amazing. You keep going, girl. You just make us all want to be you. Just saying. You're amazing.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for this opportunity.
It's absolutely my pleasure. Mwah. Thank you. All right. Woohoo. Yes. Wonderful. And now, my friends, guess what we're going to do? We're going to do another breakout. We're going to have fun in the breakout. And here's what I would love for you to do this time. And actually, before we do that, I'm going to do, Steve, another moment for photos. Would y'all just, since you got to come online to come into breakouts so that you can be fully present, I'd like all of you to come on to camera for a moment. If you could, please, just come on camera. You look beautiful, darlings. And let's, you want to hold up something, you want to wave, you want to do anything. Hold a moment while we're getting beautiful photos of your kind faces so that we keep celebrating World Kindness Day with each of you in every moment for who you are. And that is kindness. And that is saying yes to kindness. Saying yes to kindness. Oh, I love that. Thank you all for your beautiful faces, for coming on camera. Thank you so much. Steve, give me a thumbs up when we're complete. And looking good here, looking good. You're all looking so good. I'm loving it. It's a new McDonald's commercial, right? I'm loving it. By the way, did you know that Dignity Health has a human kindness campaign going on in San Francisco on the sides of their buses? Human kindness. It is happening, my friends. And as my friend Janice, she gave me a mug. It says kindness matters, right? Kindness matters. So we're going to a breakout. In the breakout, we'll have 7 people again, new people, right, Mary Beth? You're mixing them up. We're mixing them up. The chats will be open in your breakout to communicate to each other. There, please start with who you are, where you're from, and the business you're in, because we love to know that. And in our circles of kindness, in our year of kindness, we always want to know and support your business. So we're going to do that. And then you're going to ask for one thing, please, one thing that would help you in kindness, in your life, with your clients, whatever it is. Ask for one thing. The other people in the chat room, in your room, reach out to that person, even privately in chat, and just say, I can help. And by the way, the I can help is one of the kindest things you can do, isn't it? You can help. Everybody needs support. We all do. And particularly in these days, more than ever, we need kindness, more than ever. And so with that, the person with the, did I say longest hair before? Who was the timer before? Longest hair? Cool, thank you. Person with the shortest hair is now going to be the timer. Remember, wave the beautiful, be intrusive, say time's up, it's all good. You got 2 minutes a person, plenty of time, my friends. You have 15 minutes, and you're gonna share what's the one thing that you would like to receive in terms of more kindness in your business, all right? And try to be specific would be very, very helpful, specific. And it's our connection in the kindness connection to help you with what you need next, all right? So super on that. And the person with the longest hair is now going first. Okay, 2 minutes apiece. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Woohoo! We'll see you back here in 15 minutes. Have fun. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. So glad you're back and connected. And I always love that when I get these beautiful comments from people, even before you're all back. So I would love to take some shares. We're going to start with Ame, who started with a beautiful comment right away. Would you do me a favor? Raise your hand in the chat, in the reactions, I mean, if you would like to do a share. Maybe if you haven't spoken up, come on, speak up. This is a beautiful time to be in the practice of kindness. And Mary Beth, do you see them in order? I see Peter, I saw somebody else. I think you got to help me out there. And May, come on up, so to speak. The kindness is right.
Thank you so much. Well, you know, it's always delightful. I think we were saying, you know, how much we're missing the human contact with one another, the connection in the first hour. And in our group, we just so enjoyed being able to talk together about things that one doesn't normally talk to other people about. It was just so heart connected that it really, I mean, it's an energetic boost. I feel bigger, open, more loving as a result of that connection. So thank you for facilitating that, Jill.
Oh, you are welcome. And thank you for who you are in the world. That's very beautiful. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
All right, Mary Beth, and I see Yvonne coming in. Hello, Yvonne. Yes, you're on mute.
There we go. Okay, hi. Wow, I mean, I hope everyone feels the way I feel right now, because this is, I mean, I thought, oh my gosh, 3 hours of my Saturday morning, there's so much I have to do, but something said no. I remember Jill's little meeting that we had once earlier, and I said, Jill is fantastic, and she's right in line with my thinking. Let me just drop everything and do it. And then not only have I made like 12 wonderful connections, I mean, really, we've connected, not just, you know, oh, hi, how are you? This has been a heart connection, because I know we're all in that same space. And then to see TR and his daughter show up, and I'm in my second week in his Changemakers program. I mean, come on, you know, is the universe trying to tell me that this is it? This is the time, and it's all about giving. So all of us that are here, the things that we're talking about, they're on a level that you like. I think it was May said, you talk about things that maybe you don't talk about every day, right? We learned about what each other does, and each person has a real mission, and it's all about helping each other and elevating, you know, like raising the vibration of our lives. And to have this happening at a time when we're all so shut in and locked down is incredible. Yes, I'm over the moon.
Oh, thank you, Yvonne. And I really want to thank all of you for taking time out. I know that requires something, and your commitment, each one of you, to being kind, to hanging out here, to sharing with each other makes a huge difference. I will tell you, and Mary Beth, let's go on to the next person too. Thank you. That I started this in COVID. I started the Year of Kindness in COVID because God had planted a seed in my heart to do these kindness circles when the Prophet of Kindness came out. And the Year of Kindness, you know, we're close to 200 people now. I'm going to tell you what a difference it makes every month to come together like this with like-minded people. And I'm so glad you're all feeling this. Welcome, Peter. What would you like to share?
Jill, I want to thank you very much. This has been a wonderful year of kindness with you, and I appreciate that. Also, taking your boot camp a bit was awesome. I've been on podcasts this year, to say the least, so thank you for that as well. And I wanted to say the group I was just in was just so kind and loving, and they took, I think the opposite of kindness is being bullied. So being a bully-proof expert, Jill, I'm really passionate about eradicating bullying in our public high schools, which will stop negating this kindness that the movement is going toward right now. So I just want to say that. And thank you so much for having this thing Saturday. I got to bring a guest on today. So thank you for supporting my guest too. Thank you.
It's my absolute pleasure. And thank you, Peter, for being part of the Year of Kindness and for bringing guests. Super great. Super great. Thank you. All right, now let's see who's coming in. Who's coming in? Mary Beth, who's next? We've got, I think, Renee. Yes. Hi, Renee.
Hi, Jill. Great to be here. So it's ditto to what everyone has said. I'm so glad that I did have the opportunity to be on today. I was in transit earlier, and I'm now in a place that is not really fixed up. It's not my usual office, but I'm glad to be here. But each group I've been in has been absolutely amazing. The people have been so kind and so wonderful. And I have the feeling that particularly this last group, that we're going to be connected now for a very long time in the future, helping each other to grow and to grow our business and just to be kind to each other. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And this networking breakout opportunity is fabulous. But I think it's because of the fabulous people that are here. So thank you.
It always is. It always is. And we do this monthly. But the other thing I forgot to tell you is every month we break out into at least 2 networking circles for the hour. Just FYI, we always are connecting with each other. That's really important. Thank you,
Really,
Renee.
absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. And who's next? Randy. Okay, Randy, before you even talk, I just got to thank Randy Pizer for her kindness. And just to tell you all that for the profit of kindness, Randy actually helped me, even though I'm a publicity expert, I'm in my own box, right? And Randy was the one who stepped up and helped me create a press release. She's an amazing editor and helps people with book proposals and helps people get major books with publishers and agents. And Randy was the woman who stepped up and created a press release called The Divided States of America that actually got the attention of major Fox News networks. I was actually on 7 Fox News network in the first week of Profit of Kindness coming out. And Randy, you've helped me with the kindness challenge and the wording, and you're a master of words. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. What did you want to share?
You're very welcome. Our group was amazing. We went so deep and it was so rich. And there were a couple of women who were making Christmas cards for seniors while like working on a craft project in their own kindness. And I love that, like practicing kindness in the moment. And I've been working at the same time on a big braided thing for the kitty that my partner trapped about 3 weeks ago, way out in the wilderness. And so this is the latest cat toy that some said here, braiding a cat toy out of yarn while we're meeting as well, practicing kindness towards animals.
I love that. Thank you, Randy. You are very good at that. Beautiful. And then last but not least, we're going to have Rhonda. Please, Rhonda, come on in and share. Whoop, Mary Beth, do we have Rhonda?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm right there. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I just wanted to say, Jill, you brought together these women, and we had Marissa, Pat, Kat, Linda, and Carol, right? And to hear these women talk about their business from a place of service and kindness and really so closely align with the different facets of that and want to embody that, not only in the way that they do service, but the way that they engage and collaborate and communicate with their partners. I just want to say bravo, phenomenal team.
Oh, thank you, Rhonda. Always a delight. Always a delight, and so glad to have you in our year of kindness and every other place that I see you. So I do want to share one thing before we're going to take a short break, because I am dedicating this kindness summit to World Kindness Day, of course, to all of you who are rippling your light around the world, because as Robert Ingersoll says, we rise by lifting others. But I'm also dedicating it to my 2 beautiful cats who I have lost recently. And I couldn't say it in the beginning because I might be crying. But on the left is my beautiful Soul. He was 19 years old and he left us about 3 weeks ago. And on the right side is him and his sweet sister, Starlight. She was 15 and she left us 30 days before him. So in 30 days, I lost 2 cats. My sweet, sweet, beautiful hearts. And I just want to dedicate this to them and hold them close, because they were incredible demonstrations of kindness and of love. So we hold them close And I remember their kindness always, always, always very precious to my heart. What I'd love to do now is actually, let's take a break. We're gonna meet back here at 11:07. 11:07, that's Pacific time. We'll see you back here in 5 minutes. Thank you, everyone. Gonna, if I might, oh, hang on, my timer's going off. I have to turn that off, bear with me. Okay, there we go. You know, there's a beautiful quote, unknown, that says, if you can be anything, be kind. If you can be anything, be kind. I also want to just re-invite you. There's some who've popped on later to my Year of Kindness. It is a conversation we have every month. You love this. And I've been saying, give me woohoos. If you love this, woohoo. Yes, so every single month, we're going to be together sharing kindness, amazing speakers that are like TEDx style, quick, people like Bob Berg, the author of The Go-Giver, John Asseroff, Marcy Scheimoff, Deborah Poneman was actually here also. We've had some amazing people, a guy from the Harlem Globetrotters, some amazing people who are doing kindness all the time. And they share that with you. Plus we break out in circles at least twice within 1 hour where we share kindness with each other. And then we have a directory where we get to skill share so that you know who's in this Year of Kindness. And I'm going to invite you, we are keeping it at the amazing launch price that we've done for the past year. If you've been in the Year of Kindness, please feel free to put in the chat what your experience has been. I would so appreciate that. That would be super. And give me a woohoo if you're actually in the Year of Kindness right now. Give me a woo, 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 woo. Oh, yes. This is who we are. Woo, woo, woo. Are kind. People who are connected. People who care about kindness. It's the way, in a very inexpensive way, to have kindness in your life. $97 for the entire year. Also includes every single month, the next year's Kindness Summit, and my book, The Profit of Kindness. And Mary Beth has posted in the chat how you register, which is jilllublin.com/Year of Kindness. And let me just tell you, keeping conscious kindness in your circle every single month with like-hearted people that we are experiencing today is going to keep that ripple going and connected for you every single month. And this is about business, and it is about life. It's your life. Let's keep being kind, my friends. So I invite you in, click the link in the chat, and I'm super excited to have you be part of it. And thank you all. I've been seeing some renewals. Thank you for that. I just really want to acknowledge that too. And thank you each for all of that. Now, let me just say, I got this great quote from James Barrie. It says, "Those who bring sunshine to the lives of others cannot keep it from themselves." And that, my friends, is what Deborah Poneman is all about. She is a ray of sunshine. And I'm pleased to and blessed to call her a friend, a colleague, an amazing mentor who's been really at the forefront of kindness her whole career, because that is who she is. And I want her to share her kindness message with you. And I want to tell you a little bit about her, because for over 40 years, Deborah Poneman has been blessing people with kindness. She is the best-selling author and founder of Yes to Success. She has shared her system, and now it's used by tens of thousands of people around the world to create lives not only of success and abundance, but deep happiness, self-love, and lasting inner fulfillment. Known as the mentor to mentors, Deborah's students have used her teachings to become mega successful entrepreneurs, renowned transformational leaders, New York Times bestsellers, authors, millionaires and billionaires, and even household names. But Deborah feels her greatest accomplishment is not only that she's taught so many people how to live their dreams, but also to look in the mirror and to love the person they see. Welcome, Deborah.
Thank you, my friend. It's so good to see you. And I'm seeing so many of my friends here, and Peter and Randy, and oh God, Amanda, so many wonderful people. I love you all. And what an energy. I mean, I came on, I'm like, whoa, there is some beautiful energy like floating around here in this group. And of course, it's because of our fearless leader, our kindness leader, and that would be Miss Jill, and then all of you coming together in a vortex to create kindness. So since I don't have forever, I could talk forever about kindness, but I'm going to keep into my designated time. So I thought, okay, how can I tell you how kindness has helped in my business? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a story. And this is going to be like kind of Where's Waldo? Within the story, there are 3 keys to using kindness as a way to be successful in business. And the story begins with my son, Daniel. Okay. At first, you're going to think, where is this going? Because I'm going to tell you about when Daniel was a little boy. When he was a little boy, he always loved basketball. As soon as he could walk without holding on, his favorite activity was putting his little plastic basketball in that bright blue and red and yellow Fisher-Price hoop. Okay. For his 5th birthday, while all of the other kids had their birthday parties in their backyards or their basements, or if they were lucky, at the perennial favorite, Chuck E. Cheese. How many of you have ever been to Chuck E. Cheese? Come on, fess up. You've been to Chuck E. Cheese, right? You probably wish you were there right now. Anyway, but Millie's like, no way. Anyway, so Daniel, no Chuck E. Cheese, he insisted that his birthday, the big 5, not the big 5, the big 5. He insisted that it be held at Michael Jordan's restaurant in Chicago. And the highlight moment of his birthday was when he had his picture taken next to the showcase with Michael Jordan's shoe. So, and when he was a freshman in high school, he made the A team in basketball. But since this white boy decidedly could not jump, he spent pretty much the entire season warming the bench. Yet his place on the A team was not for naught, because as he traveled with his team all over Chicago, he developed an eye for talent. He could look at a player and tell if that player was going to be recruited by a Division I college. He could even predict who would go into the NBA one day. He was kind of like a savant in that area. So Daniel, even at 15, ever the entrepreneur, decided to start a basketball scouting website where he would take video footage of Chicago area high school players, put them on his website along with the player evaluation. And as news of his exceptional scouting ability spread, he became known as the go-to scout in Chicago for college coaches. And before he was barely 16, he had been featured on ABC, Comcast Sports, CNN. Oh, thank you. I love that you held that up, Laura. Thank you. CNN, the New York Times, the Chicago Tribune. And there was even a full-page article about him in Sports Illustrated that said, why college hoops coaches seek the advice of a 16-year-old scout. So what? Pretty cool so far, right? So what does this have to do with kindness? Well, one day, Daniel realized that the players who might be recruited by Division I schools were already getting a lot of exposure, but that the only way the players who weren't top-notch, who would be recruited by Division II or III schools, the only way they would be seen was if they paid to be in a showcase. That were put, and these showcases were put on as for-profit events around the city. And usually it costs like $150 or $250 to be in a showcase. Well, Daniel was actually hired to recruit these kids, but he realized that these kids didn't have $150. We're talking about the inner city of Chicago. So Daniel decided to put on his own showcases, and the cost was $75 per kid, which didn't seem like a huge price tag for the kid to get a scholarship, hopefully, to be seen and get a scholarship. But Daniel soon discovered that not only did they not have $75, but most of them didn't even have the money for transportation to the showcase. So Daniel scrapped the fee, used his savings and put on the showcase for free. And that was the catalyst for the formation of Daniel's nonprofit that he started when he was 16, called Shot in the Dark Foundation. So his plan was to solicit donations from philanthropic minded folks, like mostly my friends, so that he could collect a lot of money, put on these showcases, let the kids come for free, and hopefully they would get scholarships that would change their lives. His first showcase had about maybe 20 coaches and about 60 players. And his last one had 150 coaches, 360 players. And to date, his nonprofit has generated over $50 million in college scholarships for kids in the inner city of Chicago. Yes, we can give jazz hands for that. But here's the point. One day, after a very successful showcase that was clearly going to generate millions in scholarship dollars for the kids in attendance, I said to Daniel, who to this point had not taken a penny for himself, I said, Daniel, isn't there a way that you can make some money for yourself? You're working so hard on these showcases day and night, day and night. And he said, Mom, be patient. When you give without thought of return, it will eventually come back to you. And by the way, I'm building relationship capital. Well, so I thought, okay, that sounds good to me. I was patient for a while. And as time went on, and I watched as he helped player after player get these, 4-year scholarships through his showcases. And also he started sending out individual highlight videos. After a while, it became difficult for me not to butt in again. I love what he was doing and was proud of him. But given the long hours he spent, I again broached the subject and said, there must be some way for you to make money for yourself. And his reply was a more emphatic, Mom, you'll see. When I do this for no other reason than that I want to see these kids succeed, trust me, I will get back more than I put out. Just hang in there with me. And hang in there I did. And within a short time, NBA players looking for a way to give back to their communities began supporting his cases with matching funds. Shoe companies with household names became his sponsors. And when Daniel decided to make a documentary on high school basketball in the inner city, somebody handed him $400,000. Want to know why? And that was, and by the way, he made a movie called Shot in the Dark that was then nominated for an Emmy Award. And the story continues. Actually, I'll go back to what the guy said, because Daniel's nonprofit, now managed by a team of devoted Chicagoans, left Daniel free to start his own sports management firm. He now manages over a dozen NBA and NFL players. He has his own sports management firm. And the investor in his firm, you guessed it, somebody with whom he had built relationships capital, which I won't mention his name because it's kind of a household name. You could go on his website called beyond.am and see who his partner is, his financial partner is. But when asked why he gave Daniel literally millions to start his company, he said, because I never saw anyone work so hard for no monetary reward, just to be kind. And that's a quote. And it's something that was, and to be so uplifting to the kid. And then he said, that's the kind of person I want to do business with. That's the kind of person I want to be in business with. So if you go on his site, beyond.am, you'll see who this person is who gave Daniel millions to start his firm and the $400,000 to make his movie. The end of the story is one day, as I was marveling on how vast his influence had become in the world of sports, I complimented him and I said, thank you, Daniel, for teaching me about relationship capital. You are absolutely right. Just being kind pays off in the end. And his reply to me surprised me and touched my heart, because he said, Mom, just like that, why are you thanking me? I learned it from you. You teach in your seminars that you need to treat everyone as the most important person in the world. You always taught me that the person standing in front of you at any given moment deserves your full attention. Don't judge them by their funny clothes or their crooked glasses or their multicolored hair. You always told your students that don't look at a person's age or ethnicity or station in life. They deserve your respect simply because they're human beings. They deserve your kindness because they are people. I just gave that concept a name, and that is building relationship capital. And it was true. And I'll tell you, from the time I started teaching Yes to Success in 1981, that was one of the main principles that I taught. But you never think that your kids are actually listening, right? Am I right? Do you ever think that your kids notice a word that you say? But guess what? They do. And it worked for me too, because usually what happens, how many have ever had this happen? You're at maybe a gala or a wedding or a networking event, and you're talking to somebody and pouring your heart out to them, and they're doing this. There's you, and they're doing this. Oh, no, I'm listening. Every word you said. Yeah. Your son recruits high school basketball players. No, I'm listening. I'm hearing it. And they're looking around the room to see if there's somebody more important to speak to than you. How many of you have ever had that situation? Like we all have? Or this one? No, I'm listening. No. Yeah, you're talking about your son. Don't ever be that person. Because the only reason why you do that is because you don't trust that the universe has your back. You don't trust that just by being kind, just by doing God's work on earth, which is treating every one of his children as the most important person in the world, that the God of your understanding is working through you. And what you're doing is giving God's love to that person. You don't think that the God of your understanding is going to find for you the perfect person to do business with? You think you're the general manager of the universe? Well, guess what? You're not. And you never know who that person is or what the future brings. The person in front of you is not only worthy of your kindness because they're a human being, but you never know. And I'll tell you two quick stories and then I am done. One is because I always knew this principle about treating the person in front of you with kindness. My kid's babysitter was this girl who one day she would show up with black hair and the next day she'd show up with white blonde hair and she'd always be on her rollerblades. We lived at the Northwestern campus. She was a Northwestern student. And I didn't think, oh my God, now she has black hair. No, I treated her as the most important person in the world. I listened to her when she talked. I didn't look around to see or check my watch or look at my phone. And that little girl, whose name is Emily Green, now owns one of the largest and most successful event planning companies in the freaking world. It's called Viva Creative. They do programs, just for little people like Oprah, like Barack Obama, like Audi, like Geico, like Mary Kay. They put on the presidential breakfast. Actually, they're not doing it anymore, but they did for many years. APAC. And guess who, and I took off 20 years to be a full-time mom at home, but when I came back on the speaking circuit, who do you think was the first person who say, you're back? Let me put you on one of my stages. Why? Because I was kind to her 20 years ago. And Maya Angelou, people forget what you say, they forget what you do, but they never forget how you make them feel. And my final story is, in 1981, when I first started Yes to Success, I gave a Yes to Success seminar, and this cute little girl, she was about this big, bounced over to me at the end and said, I want to work for you. I want to work for you. She was a college student at the time. What did I do? I treated her with kindness. I gave her my full attention. I listened to every word she said. I asked her some question about how she thought she could contribute to my company, and I hired her. And that little girl, that little college student, whose name is Marcy Scheimoff, became my assistant, became my secretary. And decades later, when the Chicken Soup people asked her to write Chicken Soup for the American Idol Soul, but she was under contract for Happy for No Reason. And they said, do you know anybody else who's a great writer and knows American Idol backwards and forwards? She says, do I ever? And I was handed a best-selling book to write that combined the #1 TV series of all times, American Idol, and the #1 nonfiction book series of all times, American Idol, into Chicken Soup for the American Idol soul. Why? Because I treated a little college student like she was the most important person in the world, with absolute 100% attention. And I think that is the kindest thing you could do for someone. Give them your attention, and that's how they feel your love. And that's it. Yay for me.
Yay for you is right. I know you've been very busy today giving your own beautiful seminars on Yes to Success, and I thank you for taking time out. Oh, Chicken Soup.
Chicken Soup for the American Idol soul. I don't even know if you can get it anymore, but proof.
I love that, Deborah. You are amazing. You truly walk your talk. You are kind. That is who you are. I've seen it over many years, and I thank you for being a leader of leaders and leading people in kindness first. And you know, the fruit does not fall far from the tree, my darling. Your son, I love that he taught you the lesson about relationship capital, but actually he learned it from you.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you, darling. And I love you so much, and I love all of your community. I'm looking at their beautiful faces. Wow. Right? The brightness. And Mary Beth asked, do I have a free gift? I'd say, you know what? Do this. Just go to yes2success.com. You could put that in the chat, Mary Beth. Yes2success is not the #2.com. And you know what? My free book is there, 5 Secrets to a Life of True Success. Or maybe it's yes2success.com/gift. I think that's it. But just to be sure, go to my website. There's a place where you can get my free book. And that's it. And congratulations for being in this incredible kindness community. There is nothing more that this earth needs than kindness. And if you haven't gotten Jill's book, Profit of Kindness, you probably all have it. But if you don't, there's another story about my son in that book. And I think about me even in that book. And it is such a great book. So get Profit of Kindness if you haven't gotten it yet. And I'll stop talking. And I love you, Jill Lublin.
Thank you. Well, back at you, girl. Can we give wonderful jazz hands, hearts for Deborah Poneman? Woo, woo, woo. Everybody's got a smile and a heart, because we do all have smiles and a heart. Thank you, Deborah, for your beautiful.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And by the way, I would stay, but I have to go pick up Janet at the airport. So otherwise I would definitely be here. So I love you. Janet Atwood, I'll tell her you send your love, because I know you always do.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. All right, my kindest community. And a couple things. I want to share with you just a win, because I'm super excited. And then we're going to go to a breakout, our final breakout of the day. So hang in. But before we do that, before we even do that, Mary Beth, are we ready for another Wheel of Kindness giveaway? How about we give away another seat in the Year of Kindness? How about that? Would that be good? Who'd like to win it? Who'd like to win it? If you're already in the Year of Kindness, you'll be gifting someone and give them a beautiful gift for another way to create kindness. And Mary Beth, let's put the Wheel of Kindness up, or the Wheel of Names, to win the Year of Kindness.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Spin the wheel. Woohoo! Super exciting, because you know why? She's my cousin. Just saying. I'm super excited that Shannon will be able to be with us in the Year of Kindness. Wow, that is good stuff. All right. And also, Mary Beth, go ahead and put up, I want to share with you how we've been spreading kindness around the world. Some of you might not know, or some of you do know, that I help people get foreign rights deals for their books. And in the meanwhile, in India, The Prophet of Kindness will come out. If you look at the screen on the left side, that is the book in India. Woo, woo, woo. And then on the right side, that is the book in Russian. And in fact, we couldn't get it out of Russia for a while due to COVID issues. Well, guess what, my friends? Literally like last Monday, this book, yay, an actual book arrived. And super excited, super excited. I can't find my name anywhere on the cover, but that's okay. And if any of you know Russian, just saying, I would love for you to look at this and make sure it says The Prophet of Kindness. Super excited and just delighted to have kindness spreading around the world, right? We need it. We all need it. And as we celebrate World Kindness Day, I ask you just in this moment, just take a moment right now and feel kindness in your heart. Feel kindness in the world. Just picture another country right now, another country, another city, and bring the people in there just as a universal invitation into the world of kindness, so that each one of us keeps spreading kindness around the globe. This is my wish and desire for all of us, because, my friends, look at the screen. Kindness rocks. Kindness rocks. Yes. Can I hear a whoop whoop for kindness rocks? Yes, yes. Whoop whoop. Kevin Heath said, "No act of kindness is too small. The gift of kindness may start as a small ripple that over time can turn into a tidal wave, affecting the lives of many." And only the good tidal waves, by the way, acts of kindness, that's what they do. Helen Keller said, "The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart." They must be felt with the heart, right? And so that is an incredible opportunity for all of you to connect to your kindness, to connect to each other. And what I'd like to do is, one more time, just like we do in a year of kindness, we're going to put you in breakouts. Mary Beth, you got the rooms all mixed up, so to speak, in a good way? Mixed up? Yes? Perfect. We're going to do, let's do 12 minutes, please, Mary Beth. So here's the thing. Why don't you do 1 minute and 30 seconds? That's good, yes? 1 minute, 30 seconds. The person with the longest hair, you're going to be the timer. The person with the shortest hair, you're going first. 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's a minute and a half, to be exact. And we're going to spread kindness. Who's ready? Who's ready? Because what I want you to do in that is you're going to ask, you're going to tell people who you are, where you're from, what your business is. We're going to open the chats during that. So Mary Beth, please, let's make sure they're open. And then additionally, you're going to tell people what's something you can give. What's something you can give? What are you really good at? Don't name a million things, please. One thing. What's one thing you're good at and that you can give? And then what would you like to receive in kindness? So this is about giving and receiving. Giving and receiving. Who's ready? Give me a double thumbs up. Who's ready? Beautiful. All right, everybody. Mwah. Have a great time. Spread that kindness.
You've been greeting. I thought having a little rat would be helpful.
I love it. Thank you. All right. Is everybody back? All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take another wonderful photo. Would everybody come on camera? Say hello. Say hello. Say kind. Get your hearts out. Put your hearts forward. Make funny faces. Mwah. Everybody be kind. Why we take another photo of all of you beautiful people, because we want to remember always this World Kindness Day as we celebrate it around the world. as we give our love and our kindness out to everyone. Keep smiling. We're here for you. And you give me a thumbs up when we're complete. All right. Thank you, everybody. And keep that smile going. Keep that kindness going. In fact, do me a favor. I want you to go post in the chat right now. What has this day meant to you? Not, this is not a promotional moment. And by the way, those of you in the Year of Kindness, you do get to promote on your skill set. Just saying, you always get that opportunity to promote, and in the chats, absolutely, with each other privately. But go ahead and post in the chat right now. What has this meant to you this day? And here's what I want to say. I would love to be able, if I can, use some of these as testimonials. This is our second annual World Kindness Summit, and we ain't going to quit till this world becomes more kind. Everybody with me? Everybody with me? Come on. Come on. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. That is beautiful. And here's the thing. And thank you for keep posting them. That's so beautiful. I will take a moment to read that after. And by the way, please, I'm going to invite you all, save the chat. There are free gifts here from our beautiful speakers. And I want to thank Abigail Grace. I want to thank Charmaine Hammond. I want to thank Deborah Poneman. I want to thank Mary Beth for her team, and Steve Lillo for helping us out, and all the incredible helpers here that you see or don't see in this moment. And I want to thank, really amazingly, each one of you, because you said yes to kindness, because you're showing up for kindness, because you're kind. I know you are, because frankly, you were called here. And what we need in the world, is more of you, more of every one of you, to spread your light, to light others with kindness, even if they're grumpy, even if they can't return it, even if they don't know even you did it. And what really matters is all of us being that stand for kindness, however you be. There's a beautiful quote: kindness is love made visible. Kindness is love made visible. And I invite you, practice with me every month. Come into my Year of Kindness. It's in the chat. Click the link. Let's go. If you've already been in the Year of Kindness, let's renew and keep this party going, because the power of kindness is what's going to impact our world. And you can see it. You can see it in business. You can see it in advertising now. You can see that everybody is practicing kindness right now, right? And the power of what's going on is what's multiplying that impact, because kindness gives you impact. Kindness is memorable. And as Jewel said, the musician Jewel, in the end, only kindness matters. In the end, only kindness matters. So I thank really each one of you for saying yes, for being kind and showing up. I'm so excited to take this ongoing journey with you. I invite you to send prayers and kindness, and to practice today and every day, not just World Kindness Day, but every day, a conscious act of kindness, a conscious act of kindness. That's going to change the world. I know people talk about random acts of kindness. Conscious acts of kindness, my friends, that's what's going to change the world. And I invite you to practice that every single day. Every single day. If there's a day goes by and you forgot, send a nice text. Send an email. Write a handwritten card. Do something kind, and do it consciously every single day. The world will change, and so will you. So thank you for being here today. I'm grateful to you. We are blessed by each other. I'm so glad that each one of you played full out, and we're in the breakout rooms, and I love the shares for all of you. I love the shares from all of you. And so super great that you're here. All I can say is my heart is so full. and you have made it full. And I hope that your heart is full and that you leave better than you came. That you leave better than you came. So let's give each other a big heart and say adieu only for this moment, meaning goodbye only for this moment. Thank you, everybody, for being here.